Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt disappointed? Not because you hate yourself, not because you're a bad person, but because deep down, you know you're capable of more. And maybe that's the hardest feeling to explain. Because the truth is, you don't lose self-respect overnight. It disappears quietly, one broken promise at a time. One "I'll start tomorrow" at a time. One excuse at a time. Until one day, you wake up and barely recognize the person you've become. And that's why most people don't actually hate their lives. They hate what they've allowed themselves to become. But here's the good news. If self-respect can be lost, it can be rebuilt. And it starts with understanding why you lost it in the first place. Nobody is born without self-respect. You had dreams. You had ambition. You had things you wanted to become. Maybe you wanted to get fit. Maybe you wanted to study harder. Maybe you wanted to build something meaningful. Maybe you wanted to become someone your younger self would admire. But life happened. You got comfortable. You started choosing easy pleasure over difficult progress. And slowly, you became someone who talks more than he acts. Your mind notices everything. It remembers every promise you break, every goal you abandon. And after enough repetitions, it starts believing something dangerous. He doesn't mean what he says. And if you don't trust your own words, how can you respect yourself? People think confidence comes from winning, but confidence comes from trust. Think about someone who constantly lies to you. Eventually, you stop believing them. Now imagine that person is you. You tell yourself you'll wake up early. You don't. You promise you'll work out. You don't. You say you'll stop wasting time, but somehow, tomorrow always becomes next week. And next week becomes next month, until years pass, and suddenly you realize something painful. You no longer believe yourself. That's why you hesitate. That's why you overthink. That's why you doubt yourself. Because deep down, you've trained your brain not to trust your own words. And without trust, self-respect slowly dies. Comfort doesn't destroy people overnight. It destroys them quietly. It tells you there's always tomorrow. It convinces you that one more hour scrolling doesn't matter. One more excuse won't hurt. One more missed opportunity isn't a big deal. But years later, those small decisions become your life. And what's painful isn't failure, it's potential. Because nothing hurts more than knowing you could have become more. Imagine meeting the person you could have been. The stronger version, the disciplined version, the confident version, the version that kept his promises. Would he recognize you? Or would he wonder why you gave up so easily? That's the pain most people carry. Not because they failed, but because they never truly tried. People spend years chasing motivation, watching videos, reading quotes, waiting to feel inspired. But motivation isn't what creates self-respect. Proof does. Proof that you can trust yourself. Proof that you can do hard things. Proof that your words actually mean something. And the crazy thing is, you don't need huge victories. You don't need to change your life overnight. You just need small promises, simple ones. Wake up when you said you would. Finish your workout. Study for 1 hour. Read 10 pages. Go to sleep on time. That's it. Because every promise you keep sends a message to your mind. I can trust this person. And little by little, the confidence you've been searching for begins to return. Not because life became easier, but because you became reliable. Maybe you've wasted years. Maybe you've quit hundreds of times. Maybe you've disappointed yourself more times than you can count. That's okay. You're human. You don't have to hate yourself forever. But you do have to stop lying to yourself. Stop pretending you'll magically change tomorrow. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop believing some perfect moment is coming. Because it isn't. Your future is built in ordinary days. And the truth is, nobody is coming to save you. Not motivation, not luck, not some secret formula. It's you. It's always been you. And that's not bad news. Because if you're the problem, then you're also the solution. At the end of the day, you don't need everyone to believe in you. You don't need validation from strangers. You don't need applause. You need peace. You need to be able to look in the mirror and say, I trust myself. Not because you're perfect, but because you kept your word. Because you showed up when nobody was watching. Because you stopped running from yourself. Self-respect isn't about being better than other people. It's about becoming someone you are proud to live with. Someone your younger self would admire. Someone your future self will thank. So start small. Keep one promise. Then another. Then another. Because one day, you'll wake up, look in the mirror, and for the first time in a long time, you'll be proud of the person looking back at you. And trust me, there's no feeling more powerful than that.